right. And once again, we are on like a light switch. Reggie the Growth Advocate coming at you with another installment of Movement Monday. So this is how we gonna move for this video. This is how we gonna move for this episode. We gonna close out this series. We got one more growth stunner to discuss. So if you're just tuning into this series, if this is the first video that you tune in, we have been in the midst of this series called Growth Stunners. And for those of you who don't know what a growth stunner is, basically a growth stunner is a factor that hinders one personal growth, one personal development. That's what a growth stunner is. So leading up to this last video, we have talked about numerous growth stunners. We've talked about the lack of direction. We've talked about the comfort zone. We've talked about bad habits. Now, the last one that I want to share with you, the last growth stunner. But before I do that, I want to encourage you to check out the previous episodes of the series if you haven't yet. If you haven't yet, go check them out where I discuss the other growth stunners and I dive into it a little bit. So go check those out. So the last one we're going to talk about is the fear factor. Fear factor. So what I want to talk about in regards to the fear factor, when it comes to fear, there are two reasons why we may fear. There are two reasons why we may have that feeling of fear. Reason number one is because we are uncertain of the unknown. And reason number two is that when it comes to certain things, we view it as impossible. So let's go into the first reason, because we are uncertain of the unknown. When we come up against the unknown, the initial reaction to it, the first emotion that we may run to is fear. And for my personal feeling, the way I feel about that is it's all about the mindset. It's all about the mindset. So it's like when we come against the unknown, why is it the first thing that we run to is fear? I feel like that it's easy to run to fear because we don't know what the unknown holds, right? Of course, we don't know what the unknown holds. So the first thing that we run to is fear. But I want to encourage you to run the other way. So instead of having fear, have faith. Instead of when we come up against the unknown, instead of feeling scared, instead of feeling afraid, have faith. Instead of saying to yourself, I don't know about this unknown thing. I'm not gonna face it. I'm not gonna come up against it. I'm gonna get away from it as soon as possible. I want to encourage you to think otherwise. I want to encourage you to say to yourself, okay, I'm coming up against the unknown. I'm going to come at it face to face. No fear in me, no fear in my heart, no fear in my spirit. So I want to encourage you to take on the unknown in that manner. And then the second reason why many of us fear is because we view certain things as impossible. Well, I want to tell you something. There's no such thing as impossible. When it comes to our personal development, when it comes to our personal growth, when it comes to leveling up, when it comes to accomplishing goals, there's no such thing as impossible. There's no such thing as can't. Don't say to yourself, I cannot do this. It's impossible. If it wasn't placed in your spirit, if that seed wasn't placed in your spirit, if God didn't place that seed in your spirit, you can do it. Because God, once again, I mentioned God placed it in your spirit for you to do it. And God don't give us more than we can't handle. So it's all about building up our faith. That's the key. Because when we view certain things as impossible, it's all about the perception. That's the way we see things. So in order for us to counter that, I want to encourage you to build up your faith. That's what I want you to do. Build up your faith. So instead of saying impossible, say that it's possible. Instead of saying that you can't, declare it and believe it and say that you can. That's what it's all about. It's all about perception. So you know what they say in the Holy Bible, ye a little faith. And also all it takes is faith as small as a mustard seed. That's all it takes. So I want to encourage you when it comes to fear. When you see things, when you think you see something that's impossible, it's possible. So let's build up our faith. And let's go face to face with the unknown. And then once we're able to do that, once we're able to overcome our fears, we realize that those things are not that big of a deal. So let's go out there and let's build up our faith and let's overcome our fears. So let me know what you think about this video. Do you feel that you need to work on the fear factor? Do you feel that you need to work on building up your faith? Because if you do, I would highly encourage you to do so. So feel free to share with me your thoughts on the fear factor. And you can do so by leaving a comment below. Let me know what you think. I'm eager. I want to know how you feel about it. So that's pretty much it for me, y'all. We have concluded the Growth Stunter series. And once again, I want to encourage you to check out the previous episodes and just let me know what you think. You can reach out to me through social media. You can, again, leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until the next time, keep growing and keep going.